Good morning, friends. Today we're doing CBD dog treats with just stuff that we have left over at home. Okay, so at this point, I have been working at the natural pet health industry for 4 years? For 4 years now. So, I mean, something that I didn't know before is that, commercial dog treats aren't necessarily great for your dog. I don't know if this is popular knowledge at this point, but it certainly is an axiom in my mind. So today we're gonna be making treats for the puppers that, are gonna be actually good for them and tasty, and that if you completely lack self-control, you could also eat as well. So let's get going. So the first one, oh, by the way, last time someone asked me what I was reading my recipes from, if it was a book or something like that. And no, it's just a little notebook. I write down the recipes that I come up with and the ones that I find online and modify. I usually write down the thing that I modify and have a little notebook of anything from, I guess now, dog treats to Salvadorian vegan turkey tomato sauce. Have a little notebook yourself, and it's actually very helpful when you have to go back and reference it. The first one that we're gonna be doing is called All About Apple. So for this one, we're gonna be using 2 apples. Cutting board here, and we are also going to be using 1 cup of kefir. We're gonna dice the apples very, very finely as we can. I don't want to puree them because they're going to become too pulpy and mushy. I personally don't give the core to my dog. I know of people that do. I quite genuinely do not know where we stand scientifically on whether or not it's lethal. I mean, I know that apple seeds contain certain amounts of cyanide, but you have to eat a certain amount for it to kick in. It's not lethal for you to swallow a couple of apple seeds here and there. But if, I used to work for someone that used to give apple cores to their dogs, and those dogs are absolutely fine. So as I'm seeing this amount of apples, I think I'm making the executive decision right now of cutting this recipe in half, just because we're making more treats and I want to make sure that I have enough space in my freezer. But if you're only making one kind of treat, which I would suggest, then do the 2 apples. For the time being, I'm just going to do the 1 apple. Next step, we're gonna get some kefir. Kefir. All right, so we're gonna use 1 cup of this white thing. Now, in this case, I'm using coconut because, god damn it, it was half of it. Now, in this case, I'm using coconut because I couldn't find normal dairy kefir, but I just don't want people thinking that because I'm a vegan, I'm forcing my dog to be. Don't worry about it. So after, we're just gonna mix these 2. There you go. And then it looks like, well, it actually looks like food, which I suppose it's really what you want your dog to be eating. So the person that came up with all these recipes, Emily, who also works at Source, she got me these BPA-free little plastic ice cube molds, and these are pretty cool because you can push. They have like a silicone bottom, and you can just push the little ice cubes out, so it'll be really easy when we take them out. We're just gonna try to, I'm sure this is gonna be a freaking mess. This is a mess. Oh god. This is why you have to dice them very finely, because they have to kind of fit in there somewhat appropriately. Yeah, I'm doing just half of this recipe, and it's gonna be plenty just for my dog. If you have neighbors, like we do with other dogs, and maybe you want to do the full batch and gift some away. But what do I do with the leftovers, you ask? Ramsey? Hey guy, come here. And the next one is banana berry. Or berry bananas. We're gonna throw in some bananas in here. The recipe calls for 2 bananas, but just like I did with the previous one, I'm only gonna be making half of it. Recipe calls for 1/4 cup of strawberries. All right, and I'm adding some blueberries here. Recipe does not call for blueberries. I guess you could say I'm a loose cannon. This dog eats better than I do. And then we're gonna put in 1/4 cup of water in here. All right, so now I'm just gonna take this to the blender. All right, I'm not gonna blend it for too long because I'll leave some chunks in there, some little sweet nuggets. All right, and now we're just gonna put it in the molds. Now, what level of finesse we can do it with? Oh God! All right, I think we're gonna call it quits there, and then we're gonna put this to the side. Ramsey! All right, and the next one is called Taste of the Tropics. So this one, the full recipe calls for 1/2 cup of pineapple, 1/2 cup of blueberries. For this, we're gonna use 1 tablespoon of Cocoa Therapy coconut oil and 1/4 cup of kefir. And we're gonna blend this for just a couple of seconds until it's smooth. It smells really good. Pretty good. Damn it. Can I blame Emily's molds for this? Pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure I can. All right, so now that they're in the molds, we're just gonna put the CBD inside of them. I put 1/2 of the dog's daily dose in them, because that way I know how much CBD I'm giving him. Last thing I want is for me to put it in the whole mixture and then, you know, give him too much of and then it gets wasted, or, you know, not give him the daily dose that I give him normally. So we're gonna do this with each little cube, and then we're gonna pop them in the freezer, and once they're done in a couple of hours, we're gonna pop them out. And that's it. You just pop them out like Emily's mold is meant to do it, and then you just feed it to your dog. So there you go. So now next step is to see if Ramsey actually likes them.
Here we come in.
Good puppy, Ram Ram. Look. Good boy.
Alright, so that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for being with me throughout this adventure. It definitely has been an adventure. Please make sure that you like this video, that you subscribe to this channel to have access to all the newer videos that we're going to be putting out. And if you have any more questions, oh, I almost forgot. If you'd like more options for recipes for dog treats, then we're going to do 2 additional blog exclusive, website exclusive recipes on sourcecbdhemp.com. You can go there and check out the 2 additional recipes. Those I would say are almost as delicious as to say that they just could be human treats, but so could these. So go check that out. Let us know how your experience goes. If you have any footage or pictures of your dog eating these treats, please make sure that you send them back to us. We would love to feature your dog on our social media. And with that said, take care. Or, I guess, wow. God.